Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great milestone, and salutations to all you sincere Akim. And the ISUPK has come again, you know. Now they are telling you that the RFID microchip is not the RFID microchip, you know what I mean? And basically what I'm trying to say is that they are telling you that the charagma, right, the MOTB is not the MOTB, okay? Because it should be without the shadow of a doubt, basically. It should already be known without the shadow of a doubt that the RFID microchip that is spoken about in the book of Revelation on the 13th verse, primarily from the 15th verse on down, right? Revelation 13, 15 to 17 is the RFID microchip, the implantable RFID microchip, okay, that Esau Edom is pushing right now on the earth, as contactless payments, as healthcare and neural link technology and brain implants technology, okay, as what's what I'm looking for, authentication and key factor technology, something like that, but you should already, but basically just trying to find the best term to use to explain all the different tools that all the different functions that this technology has that Esau Edom will use it for. Basically, without that mark of the beast, you will not be able to function or in the kingdom of Esau Edom. Okay, so this is a technology that you can clearly read from in the book of Revelation 13, from the 15th verse on down, to give you the context of what you are talking about. Because unfortunately, YouTube is heavy in the censorship spirit right now against any conversation or any talk or any precepts that's come from that Revelation, the 13th chapter. Yeah, you have a risk of your video being taken down and your video getting a strike, right? Because you quoted from the scriptures, and you even have, the famine of the world inching closer and closer, okay? And the MOTB as well inching closer and closer, and they are doing so at an alarming rate. So you have these two things happening at the same time. Okay, you have these two major events happening at the same time, where the men of the Lord will not be able to go out to the highways and byways, preach or prophesy anymore, and the mark of the beast will be implemented shortly all over the earth. Now it comes to, or it is the simple fact, you come to the conclusion that the men of the Lord, the Hebrew Israelites, okay, that have been given this truth and this understanding by the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, should be on the highways and byways, should be making videos warning our people as much and as long as possible against this, against the MOTB and against the famine of the world, and to prepare themselves to not take that mark, to not receive or take, any of the implants that Esau is setting up, which is, whether it's the RFID or the brain implant technology, any form of that implant which Esau is about to push on the earth. But you have these other Israelite camps, namely the ISUPK and the IOIC, that would beg to differ. I would want to tell you about how the charagma, right, which the charagma means, the thing inserted, basically the tool that is used to impress the MOTB on the people. Okay, they will tell you about how the charagma, okay, which is the they tell you about how the charagma, is something else aside from the RFID microchip, or what, starting from the apostles on down, say that is, always seen Cesare Borgia, or the image of Cesare Borgia, hegemony, so on and so forth, different examples, even going as crazy as sleeping with the white woman, all kinds of mess concerning what the MOTB is. But they won't explain, or they won't, ever give you a definite answer for what it is, because it feels like every time the ISUPK or the IUIC go into this breakdown, what they end up doing is that they end up, bringing out a new version of the same breakdown, where they talk about a different thing, or they talk about a different, abstract, which of course, the MLTB is a physical, actual, you know, thing, actual device that is put into your body, but they will talk about an abstract thing, how it is in your mind, how it's put in your mind, how basically the MOTB is a abstract idea or something that can be put into our people, and anybody that accepts the idea or the philosophy, that's is what the mark of the beast is. But the scriptures clearly say that it's a physical mark. You go into the breakdown, you go into the Greek, and you go into the understanding, you'll see that, you know, it has to be a physical device, so a physical object. But what you have is these men out here, taking away from the scriptures because they won't give you the full breakdown. And they know exactly what it is because the ISUPK is watching because the men of the ISUPK, they watch the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and the same with the men of the IOIC, they do the exact same thing, okay? And they know what we teach it is, okay? And I've never seen a brother go into the MOTB, okay, without giving you in excruciating detail, okay, expounding every bit of understanding in order to make you understand that the C hip, the charagma, the RFID microchip, they are all the same thing. So this is the book of Revelation 22 verse 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of this book of this prophecy, the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai shall take away his parts out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. And you have the men of the ISUPK and the leadership, taking away from the scriptures. We're not giving you the full breakdown or the full breakdown and the full truth concerning what the MOTB is. And this is a big thing going on right now because, as you can clearly see from what is happening on the earth, if you can see it, if you have the eyes to see, that's the mark of the beast, right? The charagma is about to be pushed into the mainstream, okay? So the time in which we as a people have in order to prepare ourselves for the MOTB or the coming of the mark of the beast is shortened day by day. And Esau Edom is getting ready to push the charagma on the earth, okay, which is because that is the next major prophecy. The next thing that ought to go break out on the earth would be the mark of the beast, okay? And you clearly see from the past few years, and basically, man, it's only through the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that we even managed to get to 2022 without any incidents because all the way starting from 2019, man, all kinds of things have been, all kinds of prophecy has basically been going forth all over the earth, and all kinds of things have been happening. And now, we're at the point of the end of 2022, man, and that's just for, like the scriptures say, the Most High is not slack concerning his promises, but is long suffering to us, word that not that they that all should come back to repentance, roughly paraphrasing, okay? So for the sake of the elect, the days are being extended, and for the sake of the elect, the gates of mercy are still open for repentance. But even at that, this is the balance of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Even though these are prolonged, they are also being shortened as well. And that's why you have shorter times, shorter periods, shorter seasons, years now feel like months or even weeks because of how quickly they go by. Time has become shorter and shorter. Okay, that's basically what I'm looking for. That's basically a sign of the end of this kingdom. All right, but you have men in this truth, men of the one west camps that to refuse to teach the correct doctrine. Okay, because like I said, the ISCPK and the IUIC, they should know what the truth is. But and this is the reason why a lot of brothers believe that, or at the very least suspect them of being insiders, being agents for Esau Edom, because they refuse to teach the MOTB or the hit the major prophecies in the scriptures. Okay, because sure they teach our people that we are Israelites, that's about the Israelites, they teach, and that's just basically it. They teach our people that are the Israelites. They don't teach the names. They don't go into the major prophetic events. They don't go into the history. They don't go into the Hebrew. They really don't go into majority of the laws or the breakdowns in the scriptures. Okay, but it is what it is. Okay, the point being this, that you cannot stand against prophecy. Okay, basically, you cannot stand against prophecy. You cannot change what the Most High has already ordained, to happen on the earth. Okay, so the MOTB at the end of the day will still be what it is. And then we also go to the book of Romans, the third chapter, because it's a damn shame for men that call themselves Hebrew Israelites in this truth to not believe the same thing that we believe. Okay, and to not and to come out here and see that the truth of, according to the Bible, the truth of what the MOTB is, which is the RFID microchip, is not what it is. Okay, Romans 3 verse 3: for what if some do not believe, shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai of none without effect? The Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai forbid. Yea, let the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So at the end of the day, the Most High and the words of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai will stand true. Okay, it will stand true all and basically the test of time, because the word of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai has already been shown to still be applicable even to these days that we're in right now, from the beginning of creation up till now. Okay, and you have the Israelite camps. You ask Captain Tazariak if the MOTB, the microchip. You ask, the different leadership, the different executives in ISCPK and IUIC, their leadership. You ask them what they think the MOTB is, and who knows, you might be getting multiple answers. One person might say this, another person might speak in this manner. Okay, but not but what you won't get is a straight answer as to exactly what it is, and you know breakdowns in the scriptures and the full understanding of why you would say the mark of the beast is whatever you might say it is. But when it comes to the men of the great millstone, okay, and the other camps that teach the same doctrine, which is going into the MOTB, right? That's when you get the breakdown, you get the full understanding. They go into going into it's taught with extreme detail, going into in extreme detail, for you to get okay exactly why we say the mark of the beast is what it is. Okay, to be fully persuaded in your own mind, so you don't have any confusion as to what the MOTB is. Okay, and it's already very clear. There's no point in truly there's no truly there's no changing of prophecy. There's no changing of of what the mark of the beast is. Okay, it's just to wait and see it be pushed on the earth, and once it's pushed on the earth, it's just to not receive it, no matter what is done to you by Esau Edom. And let me get that precept. There's nothing much to say about this. Okay, so I need to bring out a few words on it, because right now, man, any information, any news, anything you see concerning the MOTB, you have to talk about it in this street. I wasn't sitting down here, I wasn't sitting down here thinking about I went thinking about the video I'm going to do about the MOTB. The spirit just wouldn't let me stay without bringing out or saying something about this. So Revelation 2 verse 10: fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So no matter what basically no matter what tribulation comes our way, okay, especially when it comes down to taking the charagma or not, the answer is very clear: you refuse the MOTB. Okay, you do not take the MOTB, because you should already know what happens to them that take the MOTB. Okay, and also what happens to them that don't teach the truth about the MOTB. So this is also a warning to these councilmen, because we can't keep doing this back and forth. Okay, so let me just get it. Let me just get it instead of saying. Let me just get it. Better to just bring out the precept than to quote it and say it. Okay. So this is the book of First Corinthians 14, verse 33. For the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Okay. We can't keep having this back and forth and this confusion about what the MOTB is, where one camp will say one thing, another camp will say another thing, okay? And then our people are now get confused as to what the mark of the beast is. But eventually, okay, when that time comes, when the prophecy is fulfilled, you will have all these camps scrambling and running around trying to justify the madness that they have been pushing. Now you have men, and mainly women, coming out and asking, what am I going to do about this charagma? They say that I can't keep my job unless I take it. They say that, I'll lose all the money in my bank unless I take it. They'll say that, they'll put me in a concentration camp if I don't take it. What do I do now? That's when you see these men running around their tail between their legs, or even go as far as to just, completely bow bend the knee to Esau Edom and tell you to take it, just like they did with the juicy juice, right? Both the IOIC and the ISUPK, they didn't even try to fight against it, didn't even waste any time, just gave our people over into the hand of Esau Edom. And that tells me that, that tells you that when the MOTB comes out, they will do the exact same thing, even more eagerly than they did before. Okay, more quick than they did before, because Esau isn't going to come down with the same spirits once the MOTB is pushed. He's going to come down a hell of a lot more harsher than he did with this C19. That was just the first step. Okay, like I always say, the gradual process, the gradualism, the desensitization. So now you are used to forced mandates, now you are used to lockdowns, now you are used to being ostracized for not receiving, you know, for not receiving, a thing that will be pushed into your body, okay? And then the same treatment you're going to receive, even worse when the time comes, okay? But as the scriptures say, be thou faithful unto death, and the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will give you a crown of life. Okay, the main point being that, if you know what the MOTB is, then you know to avoid and you know not to take it. Okay, you know to keep your faith and keep your integrity and trust in the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, no matter what tribulation Esau Edom, which is the devil, might send unto you. So I also want to get this precept right here, okay? Because some of you might still, because there I don't really get much people from other camps watching my videos, but just in case, somebody stumbles upon this and makes it this far. Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. And that is the point right there. We as a people, okay, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you cannot trust this devil, okay? Even if, no matter what he, no matter what he pushes, okay, no matter what he gives our people, for their benefit, okay, you cannot trust this devil, because even the scriptures tell you that, you know, he only does evil. His only thoughts for our people, okay, his only plans for our people are for evil, okay, in order to destroy them. Psalms 83 verse 1, okay, the secret counsel of the wicked, right? I think that is still the book of Psalms, but I don't think that's Psalm 83. But basically, they consulted together to cut off our people, to stop us from being a nation and a people, okay? And even more so, the same thing will come with this MOTB, in order to cut us off from the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, in order to destroy, or an attempt to destroy, the covenant which Yahweh Hashem Yahushai had with our people. That is what, Esau Edom will push this MOTB and use it for. Because once you receive that mark, okay, you are basically condemned to death, and condemned to destruction, to perdition. Because that's exactly what that mark is. It's a mark of perdition, it's a mark of destruction, used from the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai through his left hand side, okay, to show that you are going down with your God, with your father, the devil, Esau Edom. So with that, I'll end the video right there. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom.